And we are live. What's going on? What's happening? You guys do me a favor and smash that like button. Subscribe and join the tribe. I will be going live here in a little bit. I'm just chilling, pampering myself. Man, I did all my workouts. I love getting it all done in a day, man. Just the cardio, the walks, the weightlifting, both light and heavy weights, split sets, the calisthenics, and then to top it off with the session of insanity, man. The only thing I haven't done yet is my sprints, but I'll be doing that when it cools off outside. So anyway, here are 7 signs an attractive masculine man looks for in a woman to see if she's crazy, loony, goofy, stupid, or a loser. Ladies, this is gonna be short. Number 1, bragging about having some kind of mental disorder. Keep it short and sweet, okay? You're getting blocked at an accelerated rate because you're bragging about having some mental disorder or mental disability. That's not cute. I got a video on TikTok where a woman is explaining this. You know, they're trying to make you guys think. They're trying to make you guys think that um, bragging about having some self-diagnosed mental disorder is cute in these internet streets, and it's not. It's not. So when you're bragging about, like I said, ADHD or calling yourself crazy, you'll fight anybody and stuff like this is not attractive. I just had to block a young lady that had her aesthetic chef's kiss. Man, body was T. You know what I mean? Skin was clear. She was brown skin like me, you know? And she was talking right. She was, dismissing, the women in the chat until I guess one of them said something to her like she was prettier than her, and then the mask fell off. And she started bragging about being crazy. You know what I'm saying? She started bragging about she's a couple screws loose. This is ridiculous, man. Are y'all no longer concerned with being attractive to men? Or are you just looking at yourself and turning yourself on? What? I mean, I had to block her. You know what I'm saying? She's a cute chick, man. You know, I love my brown skins, man. Ugh. I kind of see why she's cocky, you know what I mean? That brown skin glowing, but, don't brag about having some kind of mental disorder. I got a couple screws loose. You don't want to mess with me. And then I start thinking, I overthink on this kind of stuff, right? Because, anybody can see you come into their live stream, even if you don't click into it. You know what I mean? And I actually click into it. I don't be hiding. And I'm starting to feel like these women watch me because it's always like, you click into it and she's talking about something. And the next, she looks up in the top right or left, whatever side it is. And then she just changes everything. Conversation just flips, and it's like, I might be overthinking this, but I wonder if these hoes be watching me and that's how they feel about me. And then they just say that stupid shit. Sometimes my mind just be wondering, and I could be completely wrong about that, man. You know what I mean? Completely wrong. But it's not a coincidence. I've watched too many women do it. And it's like, I don't see these chicks in my comment sections or hitting the like button, but I do notice that a lot of women lately, the kind of guy that they're looking for is, along my archetype because they're not talking about the normal dating, modern dating, um, whatever they're looking for, the Chad, the 6'6", the 369 is what I call it. You know what I mean? 369, not the 666. The 666 is the Caucasian version of what women look for. That's their measurements. But as far as like black men, they look for, a black man with at least 3 properties, making at least 6 figures, have about 9 inches of dick. That's the black man's version. That 666, nah, it ain't that fuck ass shit. What's 6 inches? Soft? Man, what are you talking about? So that's Caucasian measurements and stuff like that. It always bothered me. I'm like, that don't sound right. That just don't sound right. So I know, you know what I mean? But that's not ain't no black woman looking for no sick. Just hey, listen, man, I'm just being real. Okay? I'm just being real. So let's stop with that bullshit. They'll laugh at that shit. That's why you'll never hear black women say it, right? Like they're never saying like I want a guy that's six six six. They'll never say that. You know what I mean? Because they know doggone well they want to get dug out, and we ain't built like that. So you can take that shit on somewhere. Like I said, a 369. Black women want to know you got properties, Nick. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Let's get it right. 3 properties, 6 figures, 9 inches of dick. 369, nigga. That's what the black women want. What you talking about? So don't come over here with that. Every time I hear one of the white dudes, say, "Ah, yeah, these women, they want these red pill guys. They want the sex. Ah, boy, you talking about the kind of they always be trying to put themselves on. They always be trying to put themselves on in a slick way. You ain't slick. What the fuck you? So they want. This is what you can look at it. They want everything else. Over 6 foot. 6 figures, the top of the line. And then they want average dick, average size dick. No, Nick, stop. Stop. They love it, and they be brainwashing women. They be online, and these red pill guys be like, "You guys want the 666, right?" They're basically telling women what they want, and women be like, "Oh yeah, I guess, yeah." They're telling them literally like, you ladies want the 666, right? Over 6 foot, 6 inches. The hell? No, no, brother. That it don't work like that. If you're gonna basically say that American women want these extreme measures, you got to be realistic. But if you say 369 or something along those lines, then you don't qualify. So you got to put yourself in the game. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? But don't try to play with me. Don't try to play with me. You ain't never gonna hear no black woman talking about, "Ah, oh man, I want everything maxed out. But that dick, I just wanted to be 6 inches. That's all you got. Man, what? No, no, no. They know how their men are built. Brother, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But again, I digress. You know what I mean? But yeah, fellas, when you hear that 666, that is internet white guy red pill shit. That's what that is, man. Putting themselves in the game, brainwashing women. You know how they indoctrinate us on TV? That's what they do. You ladies, you want the 666, right? I mean, that's what it is, right? I mean, why are you telling them what they want? Why don't you ask them first, motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? They will literally tell the women what they want, and no one will give them any pushback. No, dummy, that's what you want them to want. It make no doggone sense. They want everything maxed out but size of the meat. The fuck? If they want the bare minimum, then why aren't they okay with the man that makes 50,000? You know what I'm saying? And a man that's average height, 5'9". And, if they just want 6 inches of dick, why wouldn't that be fine as well? If everything else, if the dick's gonna be average, why can't everything else? You're not making any sense, man. You know what I mean? You're not making any sense. So again, that there's the white guy version of what they perceive women want, and then I just gave you the black guy version. Black women want to know a black man has at least 3 properties. You know what I mean? Makes over 6 figures and is over 9 inches. That's what they prefer. Okay, all right, that's what it is. But again, ladies, it's not cute on the internet to be bragging about mental disorders. In any kind of if I don't think most of you are really diagnosed, but even if you are, keep it to yourself, okay? Okay? And if you're really, what I'm saying, doing it to throw shade at me because you see me pop up in your live stream and you don't think I can put two and two together, it doesn't work like that. Let's block you. You mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you mean nothing to me. I don't give a shit what you're trying to project. And if you're trying to say it to be cute to me, it's not. It's not. I don't want a crazy woman. You know, I know y'all like to build lore and assume a lot of stuff, but I'm a real mellow guy. The only way I can get online and give y'all the kind of information I can give you, for my connection with the Most High, I have to have a really laid back life. You know, if you talk to my son, you'll see how laid back he is. You'd be like, I'm a real mellow guy. You know, you like, oh, this guy be online. I'm a passionate guy. I'm a Leo. You know, when I do something, I do it passionately. You know, that's why the ladies love me. They already know. The ladies like watching me no matter if I go off or not because they know I'm going to apply that same level of passion in the bedroom. Probably even more intensity. Women know what to look for, man. Excuse me. They know what to look for. You know what I mean? In a man. That's why some of y'all be like, what would he look that kind of guy? Women will look at it differently. They'll be like, oh, he's passionate. You know what I mean? He's driven. He's going to drive me, you know what I'm saying, into the floorboards in the bedroom passionately. You know what I'm saying? That's how they, break it down or whatever. But I want to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying, as the, CEO and the founder of Extremely Attractive Masculine Men's Rugged Popular Loner Aesthetics, we don't like crazy women at all whatsoever. Anything that's going to disturb my peace. Do not brag about, fighting, um, your training with weaponry, martial arts skills. Um, what else? What else? And just being crazy. I mean, we don't want to hear none of that. All right. We just want to hear you being a lady. Is that too much to ask? Is it? It's not. All right. The problem is y'all be taking on the personality traits or what you perceive to be the personality traits of the men that you watch too much online, right? That's what women's supposed to do, but you're supposed to get with that man. So he's your man, not just taking on the traits of the men that you like to obsess over online, right? It's not cute. That's what I'm telling you. Y'all are messing yourselves up. You're meant for one guy, not to stay single. Y'all gonna listen. One day y'all gonna figure out what I'm saying. Look, they study us, man. They study us. You can try to make it seem like I'm paranoid, but I'm always 10 steps ahead of all y'all. I know more about what women are doing than you do. Y'all get notes from me. I'm your daddy. You're welcome. I'm trying to tell you what they're doing. I'm trained by the military. Are you crazy? Trying to call me crazy. I can easily tell when someone is taking some intelligence from me and taking notes on what I'm doing, and especially women. They're not like getting counterintelligence like a dude would do. No, they're gonna take some notes and watch you so much and then take on your personality traits. They're gonna speak like you. They're gonna, the ad lib's gonna start kind of being like yours. You know what I mean? Your cadence, their cadence will change. They'll upgrade their aesthetic, and I can notice the most minute of details when a woman's upgrading herself. I don't think women know the level of attention I pay to them. So when they upgrade, I'm thinking, where'd this come from? You know what I mean? I can't help it. I was in the military, man. It's the only way I could have survived. My skills of observation, and I can't turn it off. It is what it is. Hey, what's going on, Olim? What's going on? I'm just being as honest as possible to these women on here. We don't find crazy attractive. I don't think maybe y'all are, down low or bisexual. But I don't think other women find it attractive. So what are you doing? Like we want you to stop. Okay? We're asking for you to cease and desist. Okay? Just be a lady. Don't What's the point of having the aesthetic and you're bragging about being crazy? I'm gonna skip right to some of the comments that matter. You guys, I'm gonna, go back up, but it looks like y'all just trolling. So I'm gonna post up no limits. These comments up. She had a boyfriend. Yeah. She said she had a boyfriend, but she's still holding a conversation. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Look, you already know what that's about. James, long time no see, man. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, the wolf pack's in the house, man. I want to know, is that like a Gen Z thing to think it's a flex to talk about being crazy? Because what I think, you know what I'm saying, you guys, I'm gonna get my bag here for a second. Women would prefer to study you than approach you due to ego and social norms, right? But the problem is, like with us, we can study them, but I study them for a little bit just to make sure I can stay ahead of the game so I can know all the vernacular to know how to avoid a modern woman, a Jezebel, a leftover woman. And then I get offline and do my thing. I don't care. But they just keep watching, they obsess because I'm just looking at them. You know how we are. If I can't touch her or I'm not with her, I'm not going to just keep looking at her. It does me no good. But women will keep looking at you so much so you can listen to how they talk online. When they're talking about looking at guys' lips, or they'll be saying like, yeah, I just be getting caught up in what I don't even be looking at his listen to his words no more, just looking at his lips. And they're talking about guys that they're kind of obsessing over that are content creators because with social media, they have way more access to all types of men that they find attractive than they ever have had. And if you're a guy like me and you're on all platforms and you're giving them, you know what I'm saying? What I do is on each channel and each of my platforms, you know what I mean? I can just feel the energy of the platform. You know what I mean? Like I just, when you got that kind of ability, you can kind of like see what the overall dynamic is of the platform, what's trending, and you can just kind of mold yourself to it. Same message, just kind of more tweaked for that particular platform or the message attached to whatever YouTube channel that I'm, what I'm saying, performing on. You know what I mean? So women, they love this stuff. And instead of like approaching you, they just study you. Just study you. You know what I mean? To a level that's like, I can't let nobody know about this. So it gets kind of weird. You know what I mean? And when you're the kind of guy like me, which again, ladies, you're doing a pretty good job of hiding it, but I'm trained by the government, right? Like I'm supposed to be able to identify these kind of things. So don't think that, oh, no, you're good, but I'm better. You know what I'm saying? I'm trained so I can see these things. I can see, I pay attention. Like they don't think that I'm paying attention. When I watch someone's content, I notice their facial expressions, micro expressions, their tone, their cadence. You know what I mean? A lot of times people normally have the same type of tone and cadence, you know, for a long time. But when I come along and I'm steady evolving, now I'm seeing other people doing that. So then I'm asking myself, like, what inspired this need to evolve or change? Right? When did this individual start to evolve in this direction with their cadence, and go back to the video where they made the change and then see where it coordinated with content that I've dropped before. I just do stuff like that. I have time, you know what I'm saying? So I do it. And a lot of times I'm seeing a lot of patterns that are aligning with things I previously said not too long before they changed their cadence or their aesthetic. And I just put two and two together. And a lot of them are telling themselves just by the content they put out. Okay. Our tribe is about improving and becoming the best version of yourself. And what we're doing, like we're in school, we're working out, we're doing our calisthenics, we're working on our charisma, and what I mean, we know how to get offline. A lot of women will be saying these exact same things, right? And before our archetype, it wasn't really dudes doing it like that completely. A lot of it was focused on money, being rich and money and being high value and money. Now the women are saying they want a masculine man, right? This is the way we've been talking. We weren't just like going along with the high value thing. People are just now, they just stopped using it, and we've been using that title of masculine man, right? And women are using, you just got to pay attention to stuff like that. So when you're a kind of guy that has the ability to have that kind of aura where, people end up talking like you end up, what I'm saying, moving things forward as far as how people discuss dating and relationships and, instead of arguing, looking for solutions. It's a lot of stuff in the way I speak I can pick up on when other people are paying attention to me. I can just tell. I don't say nothing about it, but I can tell. And from what I'm picking up, these women love our archetype. We are him right now. We are him. Okay. And they can't get enough of it. A woman likes you when you just come off the aura. They feels the aura. They're intimidated to even approach you. They're scared to even say anything. Listen, if I critique certain things about women, they'll change it. I'm not even lying. I'm pretty sure a lot of, not just maybe me, but I'm feeling like women started to um tone down after we start discussing it over here. You know how they were real raspy and loud and disrespectful, and we start talking about like a softer woman, a softer spoken woman. Next thing you know it, women are sitting up straight in their content, they're speaking softer. When you see things like that, like you get online and you mention things with your tribe, and then women adjust, that's how you know the power of influence you have over them. They're not going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of ways, you know, they feel like you should be able to notice. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be the kind of person that they look up to and they find attractive, so you should be able to pick up on it. I'm not gonna tell you anything, but I've noticed this kind of stuff. There's nothing like watching them fight their lust right in front of you, bro. I mean, these women that are just getting turned on by me, like I can tell. I, again, I had to sign an NDA when I left the White House, so I can't tell too much. But trust me, I'm trained. I can tell. So I'm just like watching these women getting wet over me. These content creators, man. What do you think is going to do to my ego? Come on, man. I'm just one man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a saint. As a man, you have to be observant, man, and that's not a skill you can turn off. You're going to be observant in everything. You know what I mean? And it's the way you survive. If you don't have any situational awareness, whether it's online or in person, you'll get caught up. You know what I'm saying? So that works for anyone. Like if you can't tell that someone's watching you, right, as a man, something wrong with you. It just surprises me that women get upset when we're able to figure it out, and we're quicker than they are, but it's not something to get upset about, because if you find us attractive, we should be able to move faster than you, smarter than you. You know what I mean? That way you got a role model, someone to look up to, teach you something. You know what I mean? That's the kind of male mate that you should be looking for. But yeah, man. These women, the I don't know whether it's they think that seeming crazy would be cute to us. But again, men don't like what you like. And again, I'm just saying from y'all's perspective, if, you know, my archetype is that of someone crazy, don't think that's what I want. Because I'm not saying that I feel like I'm crazy. I'm not. But I'm saying if that's your perspective, right, you're able to perceive me however you want to. It's your life experience that led you to the conclusion of whatever, assessment you came to. Has nothing to do with me. But I'm just saying, know that I don't find that attractive. We don't find that attractive. Okay. I know a lot of like Gen Z, they're very antisocial. So when it comes to direct interaction, if you're online making content and you're kind of passionate, they'll just call you a crash out and try to all this projected nonsense. But these are the same people that don't really hold conversations with multiple people in real life. So seeing someone that they can't read, or someone they feel like they can't gaslight or shame, it makes them feel some type of way, like I can't gaslight this person, I can't shame this person, and they get uncomfortable. So they want to, call you whatever to make themselves feel better. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's a lot of stuff going on, but we don't like that. And we can pick up on when you think you're shading somebody, especially Gen Z. I don't we're telling y'all that, and it's not all Gen Z. I'm not talking about the ones that like throwing shade and stuff and thinking if they're slick. We've told you that you're the lowest IQ generation. Um, you might not notice it because you're so low IQ, but we can tell when you're throwing shade. Again, it's going to be low IQ shade, no disrespect. So why wouldn't we be able to pick up on it, being that we're smarter than you, right? So what's the point in even trying to disguise it? Just say it outright. But then you're too cowardly to do that. But no, the older generations, bless your heart, we can tell when you're throwing shade because it's a low IQ shade. And that's no shade, but that's just based off the fact that you guys aren't as smart as the generations before you or your parents. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, right? So when you women or know that I can pick up on it every time. Sometimes I give you a pass, you look good enough or whatever, but after a few of them, I'm blocking you. Yeah, I'm blocking you. You know, too much time invested. Their whole personality is off shading men and throwing shade. It just gets old. Yep. You know, especially if you can pick up on the shade and they know you're the kind of person that can break it down. It just makes them uncomfortable. A lot of times the shade is because you make them uncomfortable. Like I said, I've gone to live streams and these women just automatically change from whatever they're talking about to, the kind of guys I don't like. I'm like, what's going on? I just got in here. And they'll go into a whole diatribe, basically describing somebody like me from a broken feminist perspective. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, come on. I was just looking at you, thinking that you got it right together with your body, and here you are. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to smash that like button. But I mean, y'all need to know that the American woman is not the only woman that's available to us. And I don't really see too many women of different countries throwing shade towards men every chance they can get while being single and lonely. I don't see it too often. You know what I'm saying? But again, just watch what you're doing because it's not cute in these internet streets. Talking about you got some kind of mental disability or that you're literally saying you're crazy. It's not cute. It's not cute. We need to do better. We need to do better. But again, you guys can get off of here and get ready to go live again, but make some reaction videos. So give me like 30 minutes. And within that 30 minutes, I might go for a walk. So, might be outside, but definitely 30 minutes. What time is it? 2:19. Give me 20 minutes. Yeah, give me 20 minutes, like 2:40. And then we'll be making these reaction videos, chilling, just chilling. You know what I mean? And continuing to let these ladies know what we don't like and what we like because they're watching, man. They're watching. They're obsessing. You know, I didn't think so. Every time I see one of them, they seem sincere. It's only the American woman that likes to just throw shade and think it's cute. I don't know what's up with that. Appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna probably go live on here first. Oh, not here. I got 3 channels up, but on the Lone Wolf podcast, start there. And I got a different kind of content I'm gonna start posting on the Narc Bully channel. So I'll probably drop that later on tonight, after my son goes to sleep. But before that, it'll be on the podcast channel and then the Wolf channel. I'll hit that one up too. But later on tonight, it's going to be King David the Chosen. We do over there vertical reaction videos and walk and talks during the day. Probably won't get to the walk and talk today, but definitely the vertical reaction videos. But I have some new, fresh type of content for the Narc Bully channel. That's why I've been letting it sit for a little bit, letting the algorithm clear. So we'll be doing that tonight. And again, you guys, appreciate the support. Share the videos. Some of the stuff I'm posting, I might be speaking too much about the tiny hats, and they're posting crazy stuff talking about censoring people and things of that nature, and taking down channels and all kind of stuff. So, might end up getting shadow banned or something like that. So just, support as much as you can. I'm just trying to be as real, what I'm saying, as I possibly can and being, the kind of man that just speaks his mind. I'm not going to avoid certain topics that are hot out here right now. I mean, these people are doing a lot of stuff. So, you know, things will be said. I might get shadow banned, but just keep doing what you can. I'd greatly appreciate it. That's the whole reason for the shade. We're holding them accountable and they have no response to it. So they just start throwing shade by saying the weirdest and darndest things. Strange to me, but it's whatever. It's super strange to me. How are you gonna attract a man if you're doing that? How are you gonna, what I'm saying, pull a guy into you that you find attractive if you study that guy and try to throw shade towards him? It's strange to me. I don't know what the mindset is. I don't know. I think it's like I give up. I don't qualify for you, so I'm just gonna start shading you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, there it is. It's 2:22. You know what I mean? So I'll be back on here in a little bit. You guys smash that like button. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree. We'll be making some reaction videos here in a few minutes. I might go live a little bit earlier than that. But anyway, y'all, appreciate you, James. Appreciate you, No Limit. I'll be back on here. You guys, appreciate y'all. Love and light. I'm out.
It's on mute. Hey, hold on. Bitch, be quiet. Lot of niggas fake.